Hey everybody, before the show starts, log on to musicmoneymakeover.com/shop to download all my books and free guides. And while you're there, click on the Book a Call tab to book a one-on-one Zoom call with me to get all your music business questions solved. Enjoy the show. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Music Money Makeover Show. My name is Casey Graham, and on this episode, this is part 2 of the music producer Production Company LLC. I just messed all that up. Anyway, this is part 2 of that series. Okay, we're talking about building a music production company LLC for music producers. And on this episode, I'm adding in what you thought I was going to talk about on part 1 in this series. Yes, that's right. We're adding in the production company aspect when it comes to running as a small RAN label. Okay, so that's going to be the third part that we're going to add into both of those companies we talked about last week. Okay, so without further ado, if you want to donate to the channel, you can do so right over here. If you want to skip Copyright Explained, that's coming up next, you can do so right down below. But here we go with Copyright Explained. Copyright: the sole right which an author has in their own original literary compositions. The exclusive right of an author to print, publish, and vend their own literary works for their own benefit. Now, of course, there are two main rights of copy that the music industry operates and revolves around, and that's the masters and the publishing. And the masters is referred to as the sound recording copyright. Sound recordings as in records, masters, phonogram, or the audio recording file, i.e. the WAV, MP3, AIFF of the composition and or song. Now, you can collect your master recording royalties or the proceeds due from the sale and streaming of the master recording via your distributor like TuneCore or DistroKid, and if you have a major label deal, then it's them, all right? Now, you can also collect the performance royalties via the master sound recording via Sound Exchange and PPL over in the UK. Sound Exchange is based here in America. And if you are outside of America, any other organization that collects these sound recording performance royalties are referred to as neighboring rights. Now, publishing is referred to as a performing arts copyright here in America. Okay, performing arts as in the composition, sheet music, MIDI files, publishing, or song to be performed. You can collect the performance royalties for the composition via BMI, CSAC, ASCAP here in America and PRS over in the UK, and other countries have their own performing rights organization as well to collect those royalties for you. All right, now you can collect the mechanical royalties due from the composition via Harry Fox, Music Reports, and the Mechanical Licensing Collective here in America. You can also collect your mechanical royalties over in the UK from MCPS. So now, Lyric Find right here. You can get your lyric display royalties from Lyric Find and Music Match, but that's that. Let's go through the 6 rights of copyright to be exercised to the fullest extent of the United States Code under Title 17, and that's the right to reproduce. The right to reproduce the copyrighted work in copies or phonorecords, physical or digital format. The right to prepare derivative works. The right to prepare derivative works based upon the copyrighted work. The right to distribute copies or phonorecords of the copyrighted work to the public by sale or other transfer of ownership or by rental, lease, or lending. And then we have the right to public performance, the right to perform the copyrighted work publicly, the right to public display, the right to display the copyrighted work publicly, and the right to digital performance, and that's the right to digital audio transmission performance. All right, everybody, thank you for watching Copyright Explained. Look, let me give a quick disclaimer, and I'm going to do so even in today's video. I want new producers to understand that building a production company, even though it may sound glamorous, it is not a glamorous process if you're just getting started. Let's say you're in year 1, year 2 of your process. See, nowadays, a lot of people operate alone, and it's very difficult to build up these connections to make this type of company happen right off the ground. There's a lot of knowledge that you need to gain. There's a lot of experience that you need to gain to make this type of thing happen and to pull it off. So when you get to the point of utilizing a company structure like this, you will have some bits and pieces of knowledge based on this video, but it is going to take some time, some experience, and learning how to select the right artists and so forth and so on. Okay, so I am done on my soapbox. Let's jump into the slides. All right, everybody. So here we are. Let's talk about what you're going to need to establish this type of structure. And in today's video, we're going to have some other components put in that is going to be for a more advanced producer. But for those of you all who want to try this method down the line, this is here for you, okay? Now, quite frankly, you can see how this is getting complicated already. So to all of my new producers, this might not be for you, but at least the information is here so that you can consider it later. Okay, so how we're going to do things here, at least how this company setup will look, is you're going to need 3 LLCs. Okay, and you're going to need 3 EIN numbers and 2 bank accounts. Now, I may say eventually. No, let's say it now. You're going to need 2 bank accounts, okay? You're going to need an accountant eventually. Well, actually, by this point, you probably going to need to appoint someone and then eventually have an accountant, to look over those accounts, or someone in your team. You're going to need a corporate attorney and a tax attorney, okay? I want to state this again, that this is not for new producers just yet. You got to get your networking game up. You got to get your contacts built. Even though you might want to do this method, which a lot of you do, even though you might want to do this method, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with this. I'm just letting you know now. Now, here we go. We got a production label in here, all right? This is something new that I didn't have in last week. And a lot of you probably thought this was going to be in last week's video about, having this production label. But I didn't put it there. I strictly made a video about building the proper company structure or an ideal proper company structure for just a producer making beats and getting placements. Okay. This setup is for a producer making beats, getting placements, and coaching and producing one particular artist that they will sign to them in the hopes of finding and getting a joint venture deal or a record deal, so forth and so on down the line. Okay. This option right here isn't for the faint of heart. It isn't for the newbies who are just getting started, because this takes a lot of work to make this happen. Okay. A lot of networking, a lot of, hey, let's meet up and let's have some lunch or go to dinner. Let's talk about the options I have on the table. It also has to deal with signing an artist that is capable of putting in the work consistently and not running around. So this is why I don't recommend this method for new producers. It's only for producers that can keep an artist focused and get the task at hand done. And that artist also has to be focused as well. Okay, so now 2 of these slots you see are the same from last week. We'll go over those. And I may add a little bit of new information. Okay, so now check it out. You've got leasing that's happening in your operations company. All right, you've got beat sales. This is for the sale of beats that are going to record labels, not for leasing beats. This is beat sales to record labels, and you get your, producer advance, and you get your production fee. That's what the beat sale is for, in exchange for your master rights in that beat, okay? That's not leasing, okay? And you get endorsements. This is for Native Instruments, Akai. You doing, other stuff where people want to give you money. Or, you just so happen, hey, such and such beat did this and you got an appearance fee. We should put / appearance here. That's for that. This is all the operations that you just throw in there, right? Because you're not an artist, so, you'll show up on time to stuff or whatever. Producer royalties, okay? That's going to show up in your operation, and publishing royalties. That's going to show up here. A lot of you asked me, why did the publishing royalties show up in your operations LLC last week? The reason why is because when you register on BMI, Harry Fox, or ASCAP, CSAC, or PRS, or SOCAN, or whatever it is you have, those royalties should just revert back here. But on the other side, when I get into the asset holding, the copyright will be held by a separate company, and business can be done on the strength of you owning that copyright. Okay, so let's jump into that. But before we do that, let's give a caution here. Be mindful that you don't infringe on any compositional right or master rights when signing service contracts under this business. Service contracts just means doing business with each other, like doing between 2 parties, doing a service for somebody. In this case, it'd be making beats and selling beats. Okay, don't infringe on anyone else's copyrights, because a lot of you all are making these beats and you're leasing these beats for sampling right here, and you're making thousands of dollars a month. And so the owners of these samples are starting to crack down on you all because you're illegally making money off of compositions that you've made, and they include samples. So the bigger you get in the leasing world and you're including samples, they're coming after you if you get too big and you use a lot of samples. I'm just saying, that's what it is. So you got to think about that, okay? Now, Let's keep rolling. Let's talk about our asset holding company. Now, I just said that people will want to do business on the strength, right? If someone sees that a certain person holds this many assets in a company, okay, then they may say, hey, I want to, either buy shares in this company to get pieces of your royalties, or to get like in a form of dividends. And I got to do another video on this because I posted something on my YouTube and I think it went over a lot of people's heads, but I told you it was coming back in the Tory Lanez video. I think you missed it, but I got to do another video because, oh boy, it's coming. All right. Now, just that method to do business with companies like this. Now, the more valuable assets you have in this company, the easier it will be to do a publishing deal with you as an asset owner, increasing your income. Here we go. Now, we still have to give the same caution. Be mindful that you don't infringe on any compositional right or master rights when signing contracts under this business, meaning, saying that you own, in this case, own the copyright, because this company has to stay clean for people who want to do publishing deals with you. In that case, they will be investors. Keep your copyrights clean so that when you build this portfolio or collection of songs up and you say, all right, this collection has 10 songs in it, let's do a deal on it, you're good. It's clean. You don't have to do any due diligence. And maybe if you get so advanced to know how to really work this method, do the due diligence for everybody before. Keep your numbers together for everybody before they even come and invest so you can get the money faster. I mean, people do this all day. It's just that most artists and creatives don't understand that this is what's happening. That's how you can see these articles and people get all this money really fast. Well, their business is together so they can get that, those huge checks. All right. This is business. This is business, people. This is the Music Money Makeover Show. This is what we're doing here. Now, everybody, I know you want to get here, so here we are. Let's dig into it. Now, production company, signing an artist to you. You get the, got the stacking the cash. You got the old school Hummer, or I don't know what that is. It's like a Hummer with a long extension on the back. It looks pretty dope. But anyway, production companies can be highly lucrative for music producers. It allows you to receive more money for an artist you believe in other than just your producer advance. Okay. Now that you got that, you know where I'm going, so check it out. You will be signing the talent to secure a record / joint venture / licensing deal. All right. You will possibly, depending on how you set it up, will be getting a finder's fee of the artist's advance, because not to go too deeply, there are other people who have to eat off that artist's advance when it happens. All right. If it happens, more than likely it will with one of those three options. You're going to get a producer fee for any new records that you do under this deal. Now, check it out. By this point, if you've gotten a deal, chances are, you put in the album, you have put the album out already, and I'll use DJ Mustard and Ella May for this. In the case of Her, Booed Up, and all of that, and that album that was associated with that was already out. It was just under Mustard at the time, and the deal, to my understanding, was not complete. It wasn't finished. And then Booed Up came out 2 years later as a single with the same album underneath a label now. They were able to cash in on that and make it bigger. They split shares and they, got revenue coming in instantly by him just getting traction going on the album. Same thing happened, I remember, back in the day with Trinidad James, All Gold, everything. Same thing, the record was moving. Lil Nas X, same thing, the record was moving. And then here comes the record label. Same thing, right? So that's just what it is. Now, you get a producer's fee, a producer's advance for your work that you did. You get, the option to have the label imprint, that's why you're doing it. You want this. But in doing all of this, you can start to see the work involved with this. Warning, your job when signing an artist to a production contract is to get them signed to a bigger label. That is the standard production label situation. You have more responsibility with this option, and if your network game isn't up to par, then this will most definitely not be an option for you starting out. You don't want to go from a production label to an indie label to a major and have 3 people involved. It kind of diminishes the cash flow of the project, okay? And at that point, most labels don't really want to be involved unless the percentage is significant enough that they will receive, okay? So as you can see here, new producers, this may not be the structure for you starting out. It may be something that you want to look into as you build up your contacts down the road, as you get a little bit more notoriety down the road, because with more notoriety, you can get artists to stay with you, okay? But what I would suggest is do not sign artists if you don't have a plan to put them out, if you don't have the tenacity to go get the deal. Because when you do this and you have people sitting underneath you, it's not only stifles your creativity, it stifles theirs. And at this point, you're playing with other people's lives because you have them signed to you. Okay? So you have to have a plan to go make it happen with the label so that there can be traction on your project. If that happens, then now your label builds value. You can go back and you can do it again with someone else. So this right here is about building an entire system to make this work. This is bigger, way, way, way bigger than just getting beats placed. So if you're starting out here, I'm just warning you that it is going to take some serious work on your behalf. And if you're new and you're starting out, you have to brand yourself as a producer and you got to brand that artist. It is not fun and games when it's new. I mean, it's not fun and games either when you're not, when you're known. But yet and still, this is just what it is here. Okay? Warning, you will be putting up studio time, production time, seeking songwriters, and giving a small binder advance. You can't have this artist sitting up here just working, unless this is a part-time thing for you all, unless your advance is the studio time. But the binder advance gives people a little bit of incentive to stay. All right? It gives a little debt in addition to the studio time and production time. And I may have to do a video on how to do a producer budget. I think I will do that video. Okay? Because you're going to need to know how to do that to keep your books tight, to keep invoices tight. Man, this stuff gets deep with this, so you can get the money that is necessary for this artist when you go and you do your joint venture. Okay? So, check it out. This is now what it looks like. Let's say your asset holding, because this is different. Last week we had 3 asset holding companies and they were just solely based on publishing. This week we've got 2 asset holding companies and 1 asset holding company that holds. We got our publishing. Well, I'm telling you, you got your publishing, your masters over here, and over here you have your publishing. Publishing from hit songs, publishing from other songs, and then you have publishing and masters from the stuff that you've produced over here. Okay? So when investors come in, they will do deals directly with each company. Okay? I want to invest X amount of dollars to Asset Holdings LLC for the hit songs. Okay? All right, and I want 25%. Now there's your huge check. All right, you can do one or two things with an asset holding company like this. You can sell off all of it, portions of it, if you want to, and you can do the same thing here. Well, this will be the major label coming to your production label and asking to do a venture with you. Okay, that's how this works, people. You gotta get your company structure right. And not just only from me. If you got to take other business classes, cool. Okay? I recommend that you do that to get some more knowledge on company structure as well. But this is part 2. Part 3 of the production video series will be based on producers who are the instrumentalists, like the sole producer, the solo guy or gal or girl, whatever, right? The solo person who is the artist and the producer themselves. That will be part 3 coming up. So final verdict, it is going to take some hard work to make this happen, and it will take money, but it is possible. Make sure you sign the right artist for the long haul and don't shortchange yourself. Stay focused. I'm out of here. thanks for watching today's video. You can like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Please add some comments down on the bottom and ask questions if need be, like you always do. Okay? I may be at this year's A3C conference. I don't know. But if I see you there, I'll see you there. And we're going to do another video next week on the power of networking after all of these music conferences have taken place between Tennessee and Georgia over the last month, right? Okay. So if you need to get the production contract course, that's on musicmoneymakeover.com. There is a forum coming. You all have been asking for a means to connect with each other. That is coming very soon. It will be added to the website. I'm excited for it because I want to link people together and I want to create a community for the Music Money Makeover show. So that's coming soon. Look forward to that on musicmoneymakeover.com. Anyway, I will see you all later. Oh, don't forget to download the free split sheet and the free profit maximization checklist, and then download any of the ebooks that are on the site as well to support the channel. Okay? All right. I'll talk to you all, or I'll see you all later. Peace. Everybody, thanks for watching the show. Log on to musicmoneymakeover.com/shop to download all my books and free guides. And while you're there, click on the book a call tab to get a one-on-one Zoom call with me to get all your music business questions answered and solved. Thanks for watching.